Hello and welcome back to the 2023 Las Vegas Challenge presented by Innova. We are here on the DGPT Elite Series for the first stop of 16 this year, and you are watching JomezPro with Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
We are at the Millennium course today, and we have seen the wind already be a severe factor. The cold is also making those hands a little bit tighter. The putts have just not been dropping for this card, and that being said, we still have a couple of scores under par. Paul McBeth, 3 under. Gannon Buhr with a couple of spit outs, a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes, yet he's still scoring. Under par on this course in these conditions is actually quite good. As we take a look at this leaderboard check-in, there is a 7 under in the clubhouse. That is a very respectable score, but a lot of people managing right around that 3 to 5 to 6 under range. It's going to be a tight field as always, folks.
Hole 10, par 3, 388 feet. One of the tougher holes on the day to get the birdie. You have to hang it out over that OB pond right there on the left. And then, of course, you got the slopey green that's given everybody fits on every hole here in Las Vegas. Oh, what a skip.
That is incredible trust for McBeth, just outside that bullseye range. That's going to be about 25 feet short, actually. But, man, 388 feet into this headwind, that much trust with that much width towards the OB reads, that is a very committed shot.
Yeah, a bit of an optical illusion there, honestly, on the catch cam. I'm going to put that at 40 feet from the basket.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's shorter than it looked there.
Okay.
We'll see on the putt, but I think
it is hard to get in the circle, I'll say that.
it is really, really hard.
And Garrett coming up well short and left, but very safe.
You have to be a supreme power player to reach this, I think, in these conditions.
I'm guessing this is going to get there.
Oh, is that the whole? That's the whole point. That's the whole point of the setup.
Let's take another look.
Yeah.
You have to just reach back and fire. Only the top, the cream, the creme de la creme is going to be reaching this with just a smooth backhand.
I thought there was something fishy about that setup, Nate. Well thrown.
And going back to the point yesterday of this being just the most difficult course, I think, to putt on that we play all year. Just because stress related.
Yes.
That's a great shot right there. And we got to watch that one again. Does he get closer than you?
No.
No chance.
No chance. But
Here's the side-by-side. Look at him. I'm a lot lower. He's got that extra power. Forward skip.
You made it seem like you're just way closer than him.
Well, I am. I'm like twice as close, but he's 10 and I'm 5.
Gannon has such an interesting. The line that he chooses is kind of a combination with Nico's flex over line.
Yes.
And he really likes to bring that height in to let the disc just really crash. And yeah, you're right. That was outside the circle, certainly.
And then to go back last year, we think about how good Gannon putted, and Drew, for that matter, getting to the playoff. They definitely, I feel like, putted better than anybody else in the field.
Yeah.
Hence, top of the leaderboard. We can look on that. Who on this card do you feel like looks like they're kind of making all their putts?
Not really anyone's making all their putts.
Nobody all, but I guess I think Garrett and Paul have been solid ish. I wouldn't call myself solid. I don't think Gannon has been solid either.
We just saw 2 of the 7 birdies on the day, on the 3rd hardest hole of the course, right there on that card.
It's nice to have a big arm, I'll tell you that. Hole 11, par 4, 635. This one you're going straight across the Gulf green with the OB on the right and the left. Clearing the green requires at least 500 feet, I would say. So it's a high-risk play. And then the basket, again, very well protected.
One of the easier holes on the course, especially with this big tailwind. We've turned directions now and really going to help these players get the distance they need. Even if they do come up a little bit short and land on the green, that wind's going to help them skip off to the side. And if you're not trying to clear the green, this is the safe play by going out left.
Looks like you had the distance. You could have probably cleared that green.
Maybe, yeah. If I was willing to turn it a little bit, I don't know. I just have visions of it just coming to a stop 5 feet short of the other side.
Gannon says he's got 50 to 100 feet of extra distance. Let's see how far he can get this
I
one.
like that now.
And this
Damn.
was the example that he gave. He said last year he was laying up left because he
Yeah.
was scared to go over, and he said, I'm easily clearing this.
It looked easy.
And I could probably push to the basket if I wanted to.
Yeah, when it came out of his hand, no moment was I like, I wonder if that'll clear.
Yeah.
It was very smooth and easy looking.
The initial angle concerned me a little bit, I guess, for the reasons that we saw in the front nine with McBeth getting a little bit of Anheuser with the tailwind, and the disc continued to turn over. So if that had happened for Gannon, he would have been out of bounds in the reads on the right, but that was obviously not the case.
2G's has never been worried about
Oh my
a
gosh.
clearance of a green,
No.
really ever.
Oh, this is humongous.
If there were holes that made him worry about clearances, we all would have quit a long time ago, I feel.
Yeah.
Maybe Jerm would still be struggling
Jerm's got-
through it, but I think you and I would have quit.
Yeah, I
If
don't-
Garrett was struggling with clearances. This is one of the worst shots you're ever going to see.
Oh boy, I was gonna say that the big advantage of going. Wow, look at that thing!
So bad.
It's like a tumbleweed over
and it
there.
wasn't. And I didn't miss release. I was like, that's where I want to aim it. Boom. Wow. I don't know what I'm doing. Is just what I felt like. Like I didn't miss my line. I didn't miss my power. Didn't miss my height. I just didn't know how to play.
McBeth coming up woefully short there, about 30 feet short with that approach, and he went with the jump putt there, thinking that was going to be the safe play, and he's got some work to do.
Yeah,
There's a nice
I
one.
do think that they could push this basket back a little bit to somewhere maybe a little more protected, because when we have that tailwind, I mean, really the whole field has a chance to clear, and then you're looking at 150 feet.
Yeah.
Not a lot of trouble. I mean, you said this was the easiest hole in the course?
Second easiest hole in the course,
Okay.
but if you clear the green the way that McBeth and Garrett and Gannon did, you really set yourself up for a very simple approach. McBeth does capitalize,
Nice putt right there.
but if you do come up short and left, which a lot of players have to because they don't quite have that power, the approach is quite tricky. Like you said, you thought you threw a great approach. You were way wrong.
The tailwind just didn't allow. I'm thinking, oh, high firebird will
Okay.
swing. And I think the tailwind just kind of said, no, we're just going to go really long, not really move right. And it just was see, you can see the wind kind of
Yeah.
ripping tail there. It was just a total miscalculation on my part that made me feel totally ineffective at throwing discs for a moment.
Hole 12, par 5, 1,000 feet. And you can see this fairway. I mean, we've seen eagles here in the past. Air shot, then roller is typically the play to get all the way to the basket. I don't know if today in the headwind that we have, if that's going to be doable. But with this card, you never know. Especially with G and Paul being a very good roller, you yourself, Nate. I haven't really seen Gannon pop out the roller very often.
I agree.
You don't really need to throw too many rollers if your air shots are flying smooth and 500. Gannon's starting to develop into that eagle type of simplicity in the throw where it's like very smooth. It doesn't seem like he's doing much, and then boom, power.
Yeah, he overcooked that one a little. He's a little short right of, I'm sure, where he intends to be.
That's the mistake to make, though. If you do hyzer out too much because you're a little bit scared of the headwind, maybe you go more overstable. Very easy to go out of bounds left over that sidewalk. So I do give Gannon some credit there in making the right mistake.
Yes.
Just to touch base on that last hole, give you guys some thoughts. I usually look at par fours typically like that. If you have a layup zone, how hard is the upshot? And then what I think of is if that was a standalone hole from there, would it be the easiest hole on the course? If
Yeah.
it was just tee pad from the layup zone to the basket, it probably would,
Yeah.
which means there's got to be a change. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Well, it's some of the easier holes that they've left alone here at Las Vegas, and like some of the harder holes that we're going to see on this course and at Innova, they've actually made more difficult.
There's that roller.
This is the only thing this could be in danger of is that bunker up there, but I think that you are
That's
well
perfect.
past that. And man, the confidence to lay down the roller in the headwind.
That's
What
the
disc
power,
is that?
That's the power of the Thunderbird for me.
Yeah.
I can go into the headwind a little easier. It's not that sidewinder flight to roll, more just the quick down. The only thing I was worried about there was hitting that 500 foot sign. It was right in my line, and I barely missed it.
Gannon with a good angle on his second. He is well down the fairway. And the fact that you didn't have a crosswind, it was just more of a headwind, allows you to be a little bit more confident.
Now look at this roller. Massive airtime. Has a bit of cut, starting to swing up. A little short of the green.
It just
But-
makes that hole so easy.
Phenomenal shot. Probably 100 to the basket. McBeth was saying, he said something about throwing a roller, then he saw G and he went, if I could throw a roller like that.
Yeah.
So then he kind of tried to do that, and he did a pretty good approximation of it, I would say.
It got a nice hyzer ankle roller to it.
There's G's disc.
Yeah, wow. And that's in McBeth. Like, I don't ever lay this up range ever. If he has a look at the basket, he's going to be giving that a spin.
That pine might be.
It might be in the way.
There's there's like a scraggly little dead one that's kind of right in the way from up there. You'll see it
wide.
shortly. And yeah, look at this shot.
Gannon. Not what he was looking for at all. Not out of his range by any means, but certainly going to be scratching his head a bit.
So this is kind of a little technical 160 maybe for me. Trying
Nice
to get
low ceiling control. And what on earth just occurred?
Not the greatest little nose up skip. It kind of just kept coasting. I thought I had thrown it.
Did you hit the base of the tree there?
I think I just hit the ground and it just kind of nosed up and went down the hill. But in the end, not horrible.
I thought that ground up there was a little bit softer and catchier.
And McBeth is messing with the scraggler here.
Yeah, that's awkward.
From that first angle that we saw where McBeth landed, I thought he was actually closer to the basket than Garrett. But either way, Garrett making this hole look so simple in this big headwind. It doesn't even feel like a big headwind right now.
Gannon, big birdie save.
Is that the first big putt we've seen him make this round?
This season.
That's what we expect to see from the young player.
So what's going through your mind? You've missed a couple. Tell us.
Yeah, this one was tailwind. I'm just trying to tell myself to get it out of my hand cleanly, like make sure I'm confidently popping the putt forward. That was one of my better putts of the day so far. Tailwind certainly helps, but that one came out of my hand and I didn't have to go, oh no, it just felt
no
in.
question. Yeah.
It's a little early season for me. I'm definitely in my own head a little bit on the green, just trying to find my rhythm, find my comfort out there, and hopefully make some headwinders.
The J is our latest mid-range disc. Okay, where the Mako 3 has got a little bit of instability and the Rock's got a little bit more overstability, the J's right between, and you can throw it backhand, you can throw it sidearm, it's good in the wind.
Yeah, I guess for the viewers at home, that's a nice little tidbit into the mind of Nate Sexton.
Yeah.
You do need a good swing thought before you putt.
Yes.
And yours is pretty simple. Get to your release point, make sure it has some pop.
Yeah.
You're not thinking, I have to make this, I have to make
No,
this. It's
I'm more thinking about execution,
Yep.
and trying to keep it down to one. Sometimes you get too many swing thoughts.
Sure.
I try to distill it down and just focus on one thing if I can. Some days it works better than others.
This is really high.
Yeah, too high you would think.
Yep.
That is
That is
teeter-tottering on the edge of
safe,
the green.
safe
and
by an inch or so.
safe.
Yeah, I thought no way when he let it out that
wow.
high,
What a break.
but it stayed in bounds and it's in the circle.
Going with the low approach, but this flipped up too flat, I feel like.
Yeah, a little bit long.
That's your typical spot that you're going to land here for the safe play, leaving you the scariest putt of all time
I feel like
for the
that-
19th hole in a row.
That's just where you feel most comfortable. That's the landing zone
Yeah.
that gives you comfort off the tee, but not on the green, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the only time I've ever really parked this hole
wow.
is by being
Bad break.
is by throwing and being like, "Oops, that's out of bounds," and then you're just kind of like really close.
Yeah.
And maybe that wasn't a bad break for Garrett, just an unfortunate collection on that green. It was a pretty decent angle coming into that catcher's mitt.
They don't really give you the best catcher's mitts here.
No, they are quite steep on all sides of the basket. This is very well done. You hit in the bowl area, allowing the disc to scoop and roll up the hill as opposed to hitting the hillside in the air, which is what Garrett did.
Yeah, I was super happy with that drive.
And I keep going back to how treacherous these greens are. I mean, imagine if it was just flat on every hole, how easy this course would be.
We would,
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of the guardian of the course. That's a beautiful putt there from Garrett.
Gannon in for the birdie. Very nice.
4 straight.
What are you doing? Dang it.
And on to 14.
nothing to talk about
No,
right now.
nothing to see there. Nothing to see there at all. 14, par 3, 465. Really want to talk about this hole now. Golf green right here in the middle, OB on the right. It's been lengthened just slightly, which makes a difference. You know, this was already a super difficult hole to attack, but now just a little longer and out of that bowl. Gannon up first.
This is another one where I kind of would like to see them even push it farther back then on the next little mound and just call it a soft par 4. Because this is the shot
What is
that
happening?
you're going to have
What?
to throw in order to get any sort of look on
What?
this hole.
Yeah.
And that is
Okay,
ridiculous.
The result of that shot tells me the conditions that you guys are playing in right now, they're just different
Yeah,
than what the
sure.
earlier cards are playing in.
Sure.
There is not a single birdie on the course at this point, and Gannon is looking at a putt for
Yeah.
an insanely elusive 2.
Incredible shot he threw.
But it just wasn't even. I don't even think it was physically possible with the headwind that was persistent for most of the day.
Oh, yeah.
To get a drive anywhere near that.
Yeah, I would believe that.
And to put it into perspective as well is Paul gets a great little dig.
Yes, and he's got to look at it too.
Is Garrett laid up?
Yeah.
How many times do you see that?
Right. Yeah, this hole was insanely difficult in years past, and they moved this basket back farther. They made this one harder. That was a little bit of a head scratcher for me. I
Sure.
didn't quite understand what they thought was easy about this hole before. They had to make it a little bit harder.
Ooh, early lay down on the green for Garrett. Slides it nicely to the basket.
Perfectly executed, safe 3. And you're going Firebird here?
Yeah, a little baby Firebird.
New
What makes-
Firebird?
What makes you
Not-
go with the Firebird there as opposed to a Toro or something?
I just don't want it to straighten out. I want to just get over there, get a skip. You know, the last thing I would ever want to do is flatten it onto the green.
Yeah.
There was some headwind at play there.
Oh, Paul, chain high as it passes left. A great effort. And that leaves Gannon here. It's an opportunity. Wow. Insane bonus birdie.
Yeah.
Him and Jake Hebenheimer, the only 2 players on the day to birdie the hole. And they're giving Gannon a 16-footer, but that was certainly more than that.
Certainly.
Yeah, I was going to mention that the amount of power that he can get from a knee is really crazy.
It is.
Because from there, if I knelt down, I could get it to the basket, the base of it, and that's exactly what I would be doing.
Yeah, that was an incredible drive from Gannon. And then McBeth just almost matched it. I was just sitting there going, I'm sitting there thinking, how many things would have to be different about me for me to look at this hole and go, birdie time?
Yeah.
You know, like it's just so hard to imagine with all the out of bounds, all the risk. But if you are backhand dominant and you're able to make the miss right, I think it is possible to get a bit aggressive.
That was just
And you're
super
putting
solid.
on 25 extra lbs of
Yeah,
muscle.
well, yeah.
every
Yeah, who
offseason.
isn't doing that these days? Gannon's just going to try to do that for 6-7 off seasons in a row. Incredible Hulk coming in soon.
This is good pace.
It's a
Looks
little
like
soft.
Good stability.
Oh, no, it was perfect.
Yeah, that's how Gannon throws now.
Yeah.
Man. Just imagine every time that Gannon throws a backhand, just picture Eagle throwing a forehand. Prime Eagle throwing forehand.
He's pretty blocked by the
Oh,
little
wow.
bush, but look at this high line.
Is this
Needs
going to
help.
work? Wow, the Juggernaut doing its thing.
Yeah,
man.
the brand new Juggernaut.
That's amazing. That disc was just approved and was just being test thrown by these players this week. Oh,
Ooh, give him
my
that cap back on the
goodness.
base
Yeah.
round. I like that.
How close was this? Didn't look like it would skip that high, but perfect. Right on the path. Lucky to not get that little lip on the backside of the path.
That would be
And
the most
just a
McBeth
couple
ace.
feet off.
I couldn't even tell if it was backside or front side, and that was front. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
perfect. You're going mid-range here.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, the foreshadowing.
Yeah. That's what I'm
It was
doing.
just
Yeah, I
not committed.
guess.
Not committed. Lucky to stay in bounds. Not a very good committed shot for me there.
Tell us how you really feel, Nate.
I'm trying to.
Yep, the Gannon Neal putt for me and you.
Yeah,
Right there.
yeah.
Straight to the base.
Garrett Gurthie, great putt on elevated basket. The wind is still present. It's not necessarily gusty at this point, but it is still definitely a factor.
So impressed by him putting today, especially after. Was he going through there?
Absolutely through the center of it.
That's a
Oh,
bad break on
tough.
the result.
Yep. But Garrett missing that really short putt on the front nine on, I think, hole 3.
Yes.
And then to be able to have the confidence to just knock down a few 30-footers in the round.
yeah, I mean, and
Very good.
those 30-footers have been on elevated baskets or on a mound, and with the wind certainly present, those are tough putts for anyone in any condition, but especially, like you said, in the same round where you missed essentially a tap-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good composure.
All able to capitalize on his birdie as well. Scott Withers in with an 8
Yeah.
under. Morella, 3 holes to go.
James Proctor with a couple to go. He's at 16. Some really good scores in these conditions, folks. Anything pushing 5 under or better is very respectable.
Yeah, 4 under. There's a lot of those, but that's right in the mix. That's probably the number you're looking at, right? 4 to 5 under, Nate.
Oh, at this point, certainly
Yeah.
would be a great result. I'd love to be a little lower, get a few more putts in, but yeah, I think you're certainly not shooting yourself out of it in that range.
And we proceed to the easiest hole on the course with a big tailwind. 693 feet is quite short when you have an elevated tee and this much wind pushing from behind. Garrett's going to try to get his drive on the out-of-bounds green, which is just obscenely far from the tee.
Smoothie.
Well, he just said it, smoothie.
Yeah.
Like if he does his Garrett Gurthie thing,
Yeah,
that
he's-
green's in play.
Yeah, I think 2 is potentially even in play for like the Eagle McMahons of the
Sure.
world, which I forgot to mention on the front 9.
Yeah.
Just straight up deuced hole 2. I
Yeah.
mean, go back and watch the front 9 if you need to remember what hole 2 is like, but that is just never been done before, I don't think.
Yeah.
Certainly not with a putt.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Gannon's going to go full distance here, and by keeping it to the right side, he is allowing himself to just not have to worry
Yep.
about the OB green. That is about 80 feet past Garrett's.
And let's not forget he had 5 in a row, missed a 20-footer because of an unlucky lie. 5 in a row on this back 9 is
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
Yeah, that is incredible.
That is crazy.
It almost felt quiet until you just mentioned it. I didn't even think about it that way. My goodness, yeah, he's definitely putting together a fantastic back 9.
And Sexton, you're doing a little something. I mean, no bogeys with a couple birdies. You'll take that on this course. When I started
He's got
the round,
bogeys on the front 9.
yeah,
front
but
nine,
on this,
yeah.
like
Yes.
what we're seeing right now on the
Yeah,
screen.
sure.
I feel like when I started today, I was thinking anything under par would be sufficient.
Yeah.
Like it was that. The conditions got a little better, of course. Ooh, little legs. That's fine though.
Yeah, good touch there.
But under par on this course
Mm-hmm.
and those conditions is not shooting you out of the tournament.
Agreed.
Garrett
Perfect shot.
with the slam dunk coming up. He's going to have 5 of the last 6 holes to really put a good storm here in the back 9.
Oh, did he pull this?
Yeah, he's going to have to earn it now on the green. Wow, he's really going to have to earn it. And he earns it.
Yeah, that putter stroke looks like it's got dialed in on this back 9, but the winds are down a little bit.
Yes.
That would be an hour before, that would be a right or left to right screamer of a wind.
This basket did seem to be a little bit more
Okay.
protected.
There's a nice little confidence builder.
I was happy. Yeah, I made a putt.
The trees, the willows that you're going to see on this next hole 17 definitely protect this pin location as far as the wind goes. So you're not going to see the flag ripping too much on this hole, usually ever.
Oh, no.
McBeth, it just, again, 6 under, right?
Yeah.
And how many missed putts?
That's what he does, though.
It's
When he
just-
plays bad, it's
Yeah.
like that's what's been leaking lately. It's not like he's throwing out about, well, I say lately, this is a new season, but
Yeah.
going back to last year, the putter's in control. He's there.
Yes.
What's up, everyone? Simon Lazat here. I want to give a quick shout out and thank you to everyone who's watched and enjoyed the new show Beyond Disc Golf here on JomezPro. If you've not watched the show yet, go check it out now. We have a merch restock, fresh shirts, fresh hats, and Jomez is running a 10% sale on their website, running through Monday night. Now back to the action.
Don't go watch that right now. Wait 2 holes and then go watch Beyond.
That seems like a fair compromise.
Yeah.
It really does.
Is this a hole dedicated to the Sexton Firebird? Is what I'm asking.
It would be nice to have that at this point. That would be a cool thing for courses to
It'd be a
start
cool
doing.
thing. If you win the tournament, you get a hole named after you.
That would be cool. I would take this one. This is definitely, the Sexton Firebird has found a lot of success on this hole over the years. The backhand rock has not.
Yeah, that is a very challenging throw. That's like a Kale Leviska type of late maneuver,
Super difficult.
super snaky mid-range type of shot.
So you got to go through this little green gate. This is good. Little bit of force over.
Wow.
Clear the wall. Doesn't quite get the
Look
big
at
skip,
that.
but it's at the edge of the circle for Gannon.
I mean, it's kind of a hilarious little mandatory.
It is.
it looks like it belongs in a playground.
Or one of those little, maybe when you get married, you know,
Yeah, sure.
maybe hang a little one of those little kissing.
An arbor, I
those-
believe you're looking for the
those
word
little
arbor.
kissing, little.
A kissing arch, as they're called.
Great shot there, Nate.
Thank you.
Sexton Firebird doing its thing again.
What's
And
that
this
little
is
plant that's kind of hanging?
Willows?
Oh, and then you get a little kissy after.
A mistletoe.
Oh, mistletoe.
Oh, hang a little mistletoe. I'll give you a little kissy, Sexton.
What?
Oh, you got
What's
yourself
happening right
You
now?
have
Ooh,
yourself
there
a
it
deal,
is.
but Garrett is going. Garrett's going with a little touch Firebird. Pretty little shot there.
Yeah.
You got yourself a deal. Oh, McBeth, this is hunting,
He is not afraid to run.
Yeah, I mean-
all kinds of things.
especially after he misses a putt. He definitely feels like he should have had. He's going to get a little bit more aggressive on the next hole. Gannon from outside the circle. Does he have the putting stroke?
Ooh.
Not this time.
Well,
Usually
why
don't
would-
see him miss
yeah.
left. He's usually just a higher-low thing.
Well, what's interesting is when that's a great putt there to come back. But when he's putting, the basket looks so big to me. I'm just like, oh yeah, this is all over it.
Yeah.
And so when he misses by that far, that's a Tuesday for me.
Look how small the basket looks while I putt. Like you can barely squeak one into this thing.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Yeah. It's funny how you can see
Yeah.
it on camera with the confidence, that, like the aura around
Sure,
these guys.
sure.
It's different for every single player.
Yeah. I was happy to make that. Out of my hand, I thought I'd put it straight into the band. Just trying to, get a clean one out of there, and thankfully got it. Good drive and able to get the birdie.
When Eagle's at his best, I feel like the basket is certainly 10 times bigger for him than anyone else. It feels, I don't know what it is about Eagle's putt, but when he's putting his best, I've got my money on him for making everything inside 60.
Yeah.
Few people like that. Ricky, I mean, it's just a formality at that point. Probably the biggest word I've ever used.
That was and very well done. Brand new hole here, hole 18, shorter tee, shorter basket. So we're going to a par 3 instead of it being that island green par 4 that we're used to. Just 402, but uphill the whole way, and the out of bounds has got to be, 18 feet behind the basket?
It plays even closer because the slope is so steep behind this basket that if you start moving past the basket, you're going to go up OB. There's nothing that's going to stop it.
Are you laying up?
No, it was supposed to be a flex, but I didn't really. I went to a more overstable because a little bit of swirly wind, and I didn't really get over the top.
Chop it overhand.
But it's still like a 45 footer. It got up there pretty far.
Gary. But probably just a layup. This isn't turned enough So for the top arms, it's a tough hole because if you pick the wrong disc, you can just go way too far pretty easily, especially with the swirling winds.
Yeah.
And then if you get that anhyzer, you can pull it and it can drop on that green. I think it's a good change in my
Yeah, I think
opinion.
it's cool.
I loved the hole last year, but I like this one as well.
I think this is one of the many changes that I'm very happy with.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good finishing hole for this course.
Good shot from Gannon there.
Gannon's kind of got that thing that we were talking about with McBeth just a few holes ago, where it's his putting struggles that we've seen. I mean, he just missed another one, airballed left, 2 spit outs, a couple other uncharacteristic
Oh, the
misses.
spit outs, I forgot.
Yeah.
And he's 7 under.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's just got that it factor where even in his rounds where he's struggling, he's one behind the leader in the clubhouse right now with a chance to tie him up.
Yeah, that's really bizarre. Wonder what that's like. Probably cool.
Yeah, I would think pretty cool. Beth.
Oh, good height.
And this is what this green does. It just, you never just sit down, it seems like. It always wants to roll an extra 15 to 20.
Yeah, and that dead tree is just so annoying. On the left there.
Gannon off right, and this needs to sit. It doesn't. It can't. It just can't. If it has any momentum pushing that direction, it's going to go OB. So Gannon is going to have a mistake-plagued round, and he's still going to shoot 6 under, which is really good.
Well, him and McBeth both, if McBeth can knock this next one down.
And that to me, I mean, yes, sure, it shows that they're world beaters. But also, that's disc golf in the wind. Even the best are going to look silly at times. And they're going to still put down great scores because everyone is looking silly, but they might do it hopefully the least, or they're going to still have more opportunities. So I'm not going to even read into it too much that they had some putting miscues. It's just windy, tough greens like we've been saying all day. Not surprised at all to see them have a few head scratchers and yet still be right near the top of the leaderboard.
I mean, honestly, no, hopefully you don't take offense to this, but it looked like they beat you by 1,000.
Oh, I felt like that.
And you're 2 back of them.
Yeah, I felt
Garrett,
like that.
5 under.
Yeah.
Very tight card, very competitive. Look at these leaders
4
right here.
players who are playing with a new bag
Wow.
on top of the leaderboard.
Wow.
I didn't even think about that until I just looked at it. I was like, yeah, Scott Withers is playing for Clash, Barella Discraft, Lizotte with MVP, and James Proctor is playing with, fill me in here, I completely forgot.
Infinite?
Is
Yeah.
he-
I don't know. They don't pay me to keep up with that stuff. But I would say, you know, it's that perfect time to say Archer, not the arrow. These guys are skilled
Yeah.
players. If the product is quality, which plenty of brands are, these guys are going to find a way to get it done.
Well, we have got an exciting round 2 coming up for you guys tomorrow. It's going to be over at the Innova course. As we take a look at this leaderboard, a ton of scores under par. And like you said, Yuli, anything under par feels pretty good in these conditions. So,
And correct me if I'm wrong, but we think the windiest is now behind us, right? I mean, it's still going to be windy, obviously,
Yeah.
but I think
Perhaps some
forecasted
precipitation,
some
maybe.
rain coming, perhaps. But I think as far as wind, that day was forecast to be the worst. So hopefully, a few more big putts. We all like big putts, don't we?
I like big putts, and I cannot lie.
You have told lies. I've heard you tell lies.
Yeah, you just lied.
Yeah, that's a lie. What you just said is a lie. So I don't even know if you like big putts. We'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, good night. Bye. Good morning.